Okay, hi everybody. My name's Rodrigo Canchola. Um, you probably know me as the guy who writes down EPICA stuff in its orchestral form. I am the guy who makes the orchestral covers from EPICA songs, and yeah, we've recently hit 1,000 subscribers on my main channel here in YouTube. So as a way of thanking you guys for staying with me for a very long time. Many of you have been here for the last 8 years or so. I've decided I've finally gonna make this happen. I'm gonna try to make a little tutorial slash overview on how I work my orchestral stuff, how I create those orchestrals, or how I work these ones. Um, this is the very first time I ever do any type of video like this because I never intended my channel to have this type of videos. So yeah, I don't know how it's gonna turn out. Hopefully, it's interesting for you. Hopefully, it's okay. Hopefully, you get the answers you need, you want. Um, yeah, this is probably just gonna be an overview of on how I work. It depends on the reactions of you guys. If the reception of this video is pretty good, we can keep on doing some videos like this. I'm gonna explain the song "Abyss of Time" from Epica. This one has been out for almost a week now. So this one's already been written. It's already on YouTube. So if you would like to see the process from scratch, we can try that out. But in this moment, I have no current project which I'm working on. So I'm gonna show you this one which is already uploaded. So yeah. And a disclaimer, two disclaimers. First one, this is the first video, I need to say it again, so I'm a little bit nervous. Hopefully it turns out really well. And the second disclaimer is that don't expect me to talk loud, to use musical terms or that kind of stuff because I have no musical training whatsoever. I'm just a guy with a lot of patience and which is eager to listen to those orchestral stuff Epica does. So yeah, hopefully this one turns out okay. So to begin with, I usually work with an instrumental song, with an instrumental version of the song, uh, whenever that's available. By this time, however, we don't have the instrumental for Abyss of Time, so I need to work with the original song, which has vocals on it. It's pretty difficult to work with a song like that because you mainly focus on the voices, on the growls, Mark, Simone. So what I usually do is to lower down the volume. Why is that? I don't know. It really helps me a lot to focus not on the noises, not on the guitars and the drums and the bass, uh, but to focus on the strings, on those little details which I can't normally hear whenever the drums are very loud. So I usually work like this. This is the song. Yeah, such an amazing song. So yeah, and I also upload here. I work in FL Studio. So FL Studio, I've been working with that program for a very long time, and many people have recommended me many other digital audio workstations like Cubase or Pro Tools. I, however, don't own a Mac, so that's impossible for me. So I'm stuck with FL Studio, and I really like this program. It's very simple, and I know it just works for me. If it's not broken, then you don't need to fix it, right? So before I begin, I load here every single section of my instruments. The big question is which plugins, which VST do I use? And the answer is East West Quantum Leap. There you go. That's such a beautiful plugin. I use this one because I love the sound this one has. It's very organic, it's very smooth. I don't know how to put it in words. It's very clean, and I haven't even tried others yet because this one's a subscription. So This one just works, and it has a lot of instruments like pianos, woodwinds, brass sections, strings, choirs, so a lot of stuff. So I have here everything arranged in sections, not per instrument, because that's easier for me when I want to use this file to work on a MIDI or to use it anywhere else. So the sections are strings. This one's over here. And what do I have here? In strings, I usually have mine first violins, staccato, and sustain. I also have my second violins, staccato and sustain, violas, cellos, and basses, contrabasses. I don't know the English name. I suck at names, so I'm really sorry about it. So yeah, that's my string section. My brass section usually is composed of French horns, same as here, sustain and staccato. I use trombones, and usually I have a tuba or cimbasso track. However, for this one it wasn't really needed, so that's great because I don't have a very powerful laptop to work on, so yeah, that's for the best probably. I also have here so many other instruments like crescendo, which help to give some spicy to those tunes, and some trumpets, I guess. Yeah, there were some trumpets here. Staccato and sustain. So yeah, that's what I have here. And yeah, the next one is the woodwind section. That one's not always the case because not every single song uses the woodwinds, or I don't hear woodwinds on every song. So I just load the section whenever I hear something. And for this very specific example, I'm using oboes and flutes. That's an amazing sound. I just love it. And yeah, there are no very instruments. I use flautando. I don't remember the name for this one, but it's a very smooth sound. So yeah, that's amazing. For my percussions, I use two tracks. The first one is the general percussion, like gongs, cymbals. That one's a bass drum, crescendo, and some taikos. I also have some medals. Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, for this one I used a snare drum. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I also have very in a separate track the timpani, because this one I need to focus myself more on working with timpani, so that's the reason which I have this this track separately. That's the long timpani, the short hit, the rolls, forget the lag, I'm sorry, and crescendo. That's very dramatic. So yeah, that's all timpani. And we have a piano. I'm using the Bergstein a piano close microphone. You know, East West has close microphone, stage microphone, far microphone, so like reverb. I don't usually use them because piano, at least in this EPICA song, is just like extra instruments, so that's what I have. And here's the piano. Let's see if I can hear it. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Whenever there are many other keyboard instruments like marimba, vibes, glockenspiel, music box or so, they are also here. And lastly, the choir, because I decided to work with a choir this time. I usually don't work with choirs because I'm not very good at making sing, but I decided to give it a try this time, and I need to improve my skills on choir. But I have some sopranos, altos, tenors, and basses, I guess. I don't remember the name. Yeah, because here there are many few instruments. I also have some special effects like wind blow machine. I don't remember the name. Some scratching violins and some crescendo trumpets or trombones. I don't remember. Yeah. For this one, for the real cover, I wanted the choir to sing. However, to save some memory, this one's not singing. This one's just like that's easier, and make the choir singing. That's the last part of my working here because it's pretty difficult to do it. So yeah, I begin having my whole sections loaded, and then I begin writing. How do I do it? I work per compass. For example, I isolate the first four compasses of the song. It's like counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then I repeat it over and over and over again. That's in order for me to be able to listen to every single detail. I always try that there are some violins, violas, cellos, and basses, and those little details I add them later, like percussions or woodwinds or brass. I don't know, but it depends on the song. I just work per compass, and when I'm done with this one, I delete it, and then I go with the next one. So, for example, the next one is. Okay, so I write the strings, and then I hear some French horn, so I write it. And that's how it goes. That's what I do for the entire song. It's a very painstaking process. It's a very long process. It usually takes like, yeah, for this one it took 13 hours and 38 minutes. So yeah, over 4,000 notes. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I write every single detail. I don't need them to be 100% precise because I don't need them to be like the exact same orchestra EPICA used. It's impossible to hear the entire details of the orchestra, so I just focus on working with what I personally think fits best the song. So for example, if there's no need of viola, then I don't use it. If I hear some woodwinds, I use them, but if I can't hear a cello, but I know that in the introduction that'll be a good idea, so I use it. So I just write down the stuff that I think fits the song the most. We usually hear only the main melody of the song, like the main strings or so. So I need to be very creative to write down every single instrument in the orchestra. And there are those little details which make the song come to life. For example, I really like this viola. Let's see if it's audible here. It's just those little details that I like, and I usually add my own stuff because, as I say, that I don't really hear everything, every single detail the song has. So, for example, here what I added some brass, for example, here I guess in the choir, at the chorus, sorry. Yeah. Whenever I think I need more instruments, and I write them. So yeah, it's complicated. It took me a lot of time to create this type of songs because for the first 4 or 5 years I did some crappy music, some crappy covers, which I'm deleting from YouTube. So that's how it goes. So yeah, I write entire song like I told you, step by step, painstaking process. So when I'm done with this one, I go to Adobe Audition. That's where I mix, and every single track here I save it isolated. I don't save per sections. I mean, For the string sections, first I save just the first violins, then just the second violins, then just the violas. That's very helpful when mixing the track because you can work with the little details. And also because my computer is not as powerful as I wish it was, so that's for the better. So yeah, I work then with Adobe Audition. Here's the multi-track session. As you can see here on the right panel, there's a lot of tracks here because for every single choir I used very different instruments, like when they say oh, when they begin with a phrase like learn to unlearn, I think. Yeah, they're not pretty good at singing, but at least I tried. So yeah, that's what I see. And here's the multi-track session. Here in Adobe Audition I use the many different editions, like fade in, fade out, some volume adjustments, some compressor, some equalizing, some reverb, some panning as well. So yeah, I try here to make every instrument sound like I think fits the best. As I said before, I'm not a trained musician whatsoever, so I don't know whether the flutes sound like very with a lot of reverb or that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I just listen to it and okay, I think it needs some reverb. It needs um, some bass. I don't know. So that's how I work here. I do some panning, some volume adjustments, as you can see, some fade in, fade out for the special effects, and yeah, that's how it works. And after I'm done, I listen to the track multiple times until I am aware of every single detail I listen to. I have no monitors here to properly use my sound system, so I use some Sennheiser headphones I bought, so that's for the best, I think. And then yeah, I mix the entire track, and that's what you end up with. This is the track, the uncompressed track for my orchestral Abyss of Time. Let's check it out a little bit. And what I like to do is to listen to the multi-track session because there's a lot of details here which you can't usually hear, like for example the brass section. Like the flute here, it's a very beautiful flute. So yeah, there's some lag there, I'm sorry about that. And yeah, that's an overview of on how you work. I mean, I repeat, I'm not very good at this kind of videos, I guess. This is the first time, and hopefully you guys could learn something out of it. If you need any type of if you have any type of questions, please let me know. Or yeah, I don't feel fit to help everybody, but I might do the best if you consider you need some help from me. But remember, I'm just a guy which wants to hear the orchestra from EPICA, and they finally decided to officially release the orchestral tracks. But for the past albums, you need to do it yourself. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully my accent wasn't a problem and my English wasn't so terrible, my video wasn't so terrible. And yeah, thank you so much.